Hey there, everybody. How's it going today? Ian back here with you. I am here for a kind of different video. I said in one of my last videos I was going to start doing more movie content. I used to do more movie reviews on this channel. They kind of turned into just an unboxing channel, but I really wanted to mix this channel up and try and get more viewers and more subscribers. So I'm going to talk to you today about my 5 favorite Tom Hanks movies. Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors. I think he's become kind of one of the great actors. He's a double Oscar winner, which we'll talk about that. 2 years in a row, which has only been done one other time. He's won multiple other awards, Golden Globes. He won the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes last year. So, yeah, let me just, I will count down my top 5 favorite Tom Hanks movies. I want to do a runner-up first, which is Big. Yes, that's my runner-up. Big is a great movie. This is the 2-disc Blu-ray set, which has a lot of great special features. Of course, Tom Hanks, wishes on the Zoltar, and he becomes an adult. And yeah, this got him his first Oscar nomination, and directed by the late great Penny Marshall, and it was co-written by Anne Spielberg, who's Steven Spielberg's sister. If you didn't know that, so this is the special edition, and it even has a little a Zoltar thing in there too, which is really cool. So I'm also kind of showing you my movie collection, I guess. So yeah, Big is a great movie. Of course, the classic scene where him and Robert Loggia play the piano in the store is fantastic. So, yeah, Big is a great movie. Number 5 on my list, I kind of decided what these were, and now I'm a little bit indecisive. Number 5 on my list is Captain Phillips. I was a huge fan of this movie when it came out in 2013, I believe. Yes, 2013. Of course, this is the real life story of Captain Phillips, whose cargo ship was taken hold by pirates, and they had to figure out a way to get Phillips freed from captivity. Barkhad Abdi, who plays the main pirate Muse, received an Oscar nomination. I still can't believe that Tom Hanks wasn't nominated for this film. I think that's just criminally underrated that he wasn't acknowledged by the Academy. The fact that he's only been nominated since Castaway in 2000 one other time, which was last year for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, where he played Mr. Rogers. I think that's terrible. He should have been nominated for Sully or Bridge of Spies, the Spielberg film. So I think Tom Hanks is absolutely amazing in this role. I had a very emotional response to this film when I saw it, which I usually don't have with movies. I think that was because of Hanks' performance. And Paul Greengrass, who's directed things from the Bond movies to United 93, directs this film beautifully, a very claustrophobic feel, but I think he is the perfect director for it. I'm a big fan of Captain Phillips. I think that's a great movie if you've never seen it. Number 4 on my list is going to be Philadelphia. This got Tom Hanks his first Oscar in 1993. He is wrongfully terminated from his law firm, and he has been diagnosed with AIDS. His character has, and he seeks out a lawyer, and that lawyer is played by Denzel Washington, to help him get justice in this case. This is a new 4K Blu-ray. It has new interviews. Streets of Philadelphia, the Bruce Springsteen song, won the Oscar. That music video is included. You have a couple documentaries. Yeah, this is a good addition. So again, just showing you off my collection as well, but I thought I would include that with the video. Philadelphia is a fantastic courtroom drama. Hanks lost a lot of weight for this role, and he just gives a brilliant performance. And I think to put this movie out in the early 90s, it was very brave of the studio and the director Jonathan Demme and everyone involved, and I think that Philadelphia still holds up as one of Tom Hanks' best films. My number 3 pick is Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is really a classic now. It came out in '94, won Tom Hanks' second Oscar in a row. Um, this was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who also directed the Back to the Future trilogy. He's worked with Tom Hanks on The Polar Express. Zemeckis has directed a lot of great movies over the years. He also won the Oscar for directing, and the movie won Best Picture. Forrest Gump isn't my favorite film of '94. I still prefer Pulp Fiction and The Shawshank Redemption. I think are better films than Forrest Gump. But I've seen Forrest Gump many times, even at 2.5 hours. It's an extremely rewatchable movie. I've actually read the book by Winston Groom, and it's nothing like the movie. The book is very funny and it's kind of random. It doesn't really follow the movie all that well. There's a lot of it's very different, as with most book to movie adaptations. But and I think there's a sequel to the book called Gump and Company, if I remember correctly. But of course, Forrest Gump is the story of a man named Forrest Gump, and it traces his life through when he was young with braces on his legs, with his mother, played wonderfully by Sally Field, and he meets Bubba, played by Mykelti Williamson in Vietnam. And the movie actually won an Oscar for visual effects, which is a really cool win for that movie, because if you remember how they had to insert Forrest Gump into all these historic scenes. I remember the scene with Lyndon Johnson, and where he got shot, and there's so many great scenes. And Robin Wright pulls a great performance as Jenny, as he calls her. So Forrest Gump, still a classic, still a great film, still holds up. This Blu-ray edition I got for $10 has over 3 hours of special features on it. So that'll be fun to dig into those. My number 2 favorite Tom Hanks film is Apollo 13. I loved Apollo 13. I remember seeing this in the theater when I was like 10 or 11. A family took me to see it, or I went with family to see it. Of course, I didn't really understand the whole thing when I was that young, but I like being exposed to different kinds of film early on. I think that gave me a better appreciation for it now. You have great special features on this. Conversation with Ron Howard and producer Brian Grazer. Ron Howard was not nominated for a directing Oscar for this movie, and I think that's just terrible. I think he won the Directors Guild Award, but he was one of those that wasn't nominated for the Oscar, which is very rare, actually. But you have a great cast: Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Gary Sinise, and Ed Harris, one of my favorite actors, who was nominated for a supporting actor Oscar. Of course, this is the true story of Apollo 13 that was supposed to go to the moon, but because of complications on the spaceship, barely made it back to Earth. So Apollo 13 still holds up. It's a great movie, beautifully shot by Ron Howard. Great performances all around. Kathleen Quinlan, who played Tom Hanks' wife. Jim Lovell is who he played his wife. Was also nominated for an Oscar. I just remember this movie still holds up. It's very harrowing. The cut shots between Houston and the spaceship are just still super riveting, as they were back in '95 when this movie came out. And this is the 20th anniversary, so it's been out a few years now. And my favorite, I don't know if it was my favorite Tom Hanks movie, but I love a lot of Tom Hanks. Turner and Hooch, The Money Pit. I like Dragnet with him and Dan Aykroyd. Sully was great. I enjoyed The Post from a couple years ago, with a Steven Spielberg film, very topical, with him and Meryl Streep. You can go back to Bachelor Party if you want to do like classic Tom Hanks. He's done such a variety of roles. A League of Their Own almost made this list. I just rewatched that movie recently. That still holds up. Also directed by Penny Marshall. What a great movie that is. But I think a movie that still holds up, for me anyway, is Saving Private Ryan. It's my favorite war film. I think it is one of Steven Spielberg's best films, one of Tom Hanks' best films. He got an Oscar nomination for lead actor for this. The first 20 minutes of D-Day invasion on the beaches of Normandy are still, I think, one of the best shot war sequences ever, masterfully by Steven Spielberg. the journey to save one man during this uh, time of war, named Private Ryan, played by Matt Damon, who was still relatively new at this time. Um, I think that the story holds up well. The battle sequences, I remember there's one in the field, there's one in the streets. There's so much that happens in this movie, and Spielberg just directs it with such realism. And Spielberg absolutely won Best Director, which he should have, but the fact that the movie lost Best Picture to Shakespeare in Love still burns, I think, for a lot of people. It's one of those things that the Oscars, if they could redo it, I think they would. I have read that Academy members wish they could redo that. Nothing against Shakespeare in Love. I actually really like Shakespeare in Love. I think it's a wonderfully written, funny, super well acted take on Shakespeare's life and Romeo and Juliet, and I think it's a great film, Shakespeare in Love. But Saving Private Ryan is just time. There's something timeless about it. There's something that once you watch it, you don't forget the images that come forth from Spielberg, especially that D-Day invasion. I remember, just the water coming up on the boats in that opening shot, and Spielberg puts you right in on the battlefield, and the whole movie it's relentless, for lack of a better word. It tells a beautiful story, and it's just about as memorable as any war film I've ever seen. So, okay, that's all for this video. I want to give you an overview of just some of my favorite films from one of my favorite actors, Tom Hanks. I would love to know down in the comments what your guys' favorite Tom Hanks film is. Let me know if it's not on my list. That's great. I love, God, he's done so many. It's so hard to decide. But I would love to know your opinions. So let me know down in the comments. Give this video a like. Give me a subscribe, Entertainment Examiner on YouTube. And that's all I got for this Tom Hanks ranking video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.